Ever need an escape from reality?
How about a laugh every now and again? It's time for Tales of Woe! It's an hour of comedy and conversation about nothing in particular.
Your weekly broadcast of weekly nonsense.
Get ready for a program that's sure to leave you saying, Whoa!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ian.
And I'm Estevan.
And this is Tales of
Whoa!
Nice. Nicely done. Yeah, we'll work on it. We're working on it. You know,
We're
one of these
working on
days we're gonna be so perfectly in sync, and it's gonna like knock your socks off.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be perfect.
But regardless of how good the intro was, welcome back to the show. Estevan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, all things considered. You know,
Really?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm doing awesome. You know who else is doing awesome? NorthWest, apparently, according to you.
Wow, we're just jumping right in. You know,
Yeah,
we're just
we're jumping
jumping
right
right
in.
in. No, yeah. Yeah.
We can't waste time here, man. We
That's true.
got nipple babies to talk about.
Yeah, we got Nepo babies to talk about. Time's a ticking. We can't waste any time. All right, shit, we're jumping right in. So yeah, look, most people probably already know about this thing going on with NorthWest. I mean, it was all over fucking everywhere, and it's already probably irrelevant at this point. But I had to say something about it because honestly, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my eyes or my ears when I was watching these clips. So basically what happened, for those of you who may not be aware, there was this like performance for the Lion King Broadway show. It was some anniversary performance at like the Hollywood Bowl, and NorthWest, daughter of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, was up there playing the part and singing the song, I Just Can't Wait to Be King. She was playing the part of young Simba.
What?
Yeah, she was up there
I'm looking this up.
doing her thing. Not very well, and I feel bad saying it because she's like 10, but goddamn, she was just so flat. I mean, this kid's tone deaf. She just is. And like the main thing about this that the main thing about it is she just was horrible, and it was just hilarious. It's funny because like you see in the background and like all the other singers and dancers, they are giving it their all. They're Broadway performers. The choreography is insane. It's awesome. It's a great show. You know, it's one of the best shows that's been on Broadway. And then here we have NorthWest come in wearing essentially a onesie. She's wearing pajamas. She hardly looks like a lion, really. It just looks like yellow pajamas. And she's singing.
That's so weird, dude.
She's singing, or she's trying, and
She looks
the
like a
dance moves.
sponge.
She does look like a sponge, but she's kind of just like shimmying, swaying back and forth, and it's just not good. And
What is this, dude?
so a lot of parents were really upset about this because apparently there were a lot of other kids, actual kid actors and actresses and singers who auditioned for this, and they went through several stages of auditions for this thing. And these kids have been working hard, you know, these kids who want to pursue acting careers in big productions like this, you know, they gotta, it's a big thing for the kid and the parent. So it's a long process. And then here comes NorthWest and her mom at the very end, and they give the part to her. And so all these parents came on to TikTok and whatnot, kind of just expressing like, they were just like, what the fuck? How unfair is that? I mean, Nepo baby nepotism
Dude.
at its finest right there.
Yeah. Dude, look at this. She performed alongside Jeremy Irons and Jennifer Hudson.
guess
What
so.
the heck, man? Dude,
Like,
Rosie O'Donnell, funny enough, pointed out, this is an article from MSNBC, pointed out, I Just Can't Wait to Be King is arguably an ode to nepotism. Dude,
honestly,
Fuck Rosie
yeah.
O'Donnell.
Wow. When you think about
But
it like
she's
that.
right.
Yeah,
She's right.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it just blew
I mean,
my
it is
mind.
about a spoiled rich kid expecting
It
to
absolutely
inherit
is.
something.
It just blew my mind because
That's
like
crazy.
her stage presence was just bad, and I know she's a kid, but like you see other kid actors, especially kids who are on stage on Broadway, and they're phenomenal. They're spectacular, but she just didn't know what she was doing. Very obviously, she did not know what she was doing up there, and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, the nepotism part sucks. At least be good. Like, if they're gonna give you the part due to nepotism, at least be good. Like Maya Hawke. Look, everyone knows
Maya Hawke is good. Jack Quaid is great.
Yeah, Maya Hawke recently spoke out against, or not against, but about the fact that she is a nepo baby, and she openly admits it. She's like, yeah, maybe I didn't deserve this, but why would I live my life worrying about that? Like, and I kind of get it, but like, she's good though. That's the thing, is like, she's actually really, really good.
Is like, I don't mind like kids of famous people taking advantage, especially if like the opportunity presents itself and you want to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's fine. You know, it sucks because they technically start at a higher level, like in terms of like the progress ladder, they start at a higher level than us. But I mean, as long as it's not like looks like they don't care and they're just there just to be there, and like no, they actually like want to act like Jack. Like I said, like you said, Maya Hawke, Jack Quaid.
Yep.
You know, like they're good actors in their own right.
They are.
They're good actors. I mean, Carrie Fisher is technically a nepo baby. Nobody considers her because of her mom. Her mom. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, and this applies to every aspect of life, you know, everybody's dealt a different hand of cards when they're born. And some people, opportunities come knocking at the door, for some people, a lot easier than other people. And that's not just with show business, that's with anything. And that's just the way it is, you know, there's really nothing you can do about it. So, look, for anyone that is a nepo baby, like Maya Hawke or like Jack Quaid, like, I can't really blame them, you know, if my mom or dad was a famous actor or filmmaker or whatever, and I had this opportunity, you know, at my fingertips, why would I not take advantage of that, you know? Like, yeah, it sucks kind of for us, you know, to sit there and just watch that happen, how easy it is for them, but like, I can't really say I blame them, you know? I'd do the same.
No, I mean,
if I really wanted it, you know? You gotta, because again, you gotta really want it. You gotta show that you're actually good at it.
It just sucks because like this honestly like you were honing in on it earlier when you said how like it takes away from people that like actually do this for a living and actually are trying to do this for a living, that are trained to do it. And that speaks on like a level of like how celebrity is being used now in different mediums. And I'm only speaking it in the term of like not nepo babies, because like there's some that care, but like perfect example, The Lion King. The 2019 one. The 2019 one is full of like celebrities that they lend their voices, but you can tell they're not voice actors.
Yeah.
Like Beyonce. Beyonce was awful in that movie.
She's just flat. Like,
so
she's just emotionless.
Sounds so flat and just sounds like she's just reciting her lines.
Sorry, I should reiterate. She wasn't flat in her singing. She's never flat in her singing. In her acting.
Not her singing. That is the one thing she's not.
That's an important clarification we need to make.
She is amazing in all aspects. I'm just saying, like, you can tell that other people have done it before. Like Seth Rogen, you can tell the difference because he's voice acted. He's done the training. He's done it before. And that honestly, you kind of see it in a lot of these live action adaptations, like Jungle Book a little bit. And then this one versus like the classic interpretations, because those movies had like no-name actors at that point, or like lesser-known actors. And honestly, not even celebrities. They had voice actors, like people that literally do this for a living, you know, and literally are trained to do that, because it's a whole different thing. I used to know this actor who also did voice acting down in Palm Beach, and essentially what he would say is like it's like a whole different almost industry where like I have a voice acting agent and then I have a regular agent, because it's like a whole different thing. It's a whole other thing. Mm-hmm. I would love to get into voice acting and train for that. I think it's so interesting. You know, yeah.
Voice acting for sure is something I would love to do. It's not really an opportunity that anyone can just pick up their phone or their camera and make a video and act in it, right? But it's not like you can just voice act your own shit whenever you want, right? Like animation is hard, so voice acting would be
no kidding.
Voice acting would be super fun.
Oh yeah, dude. Just to lend yourself like multiple voices, like Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Yeah,
I know. I don't know about you. I imagine the same, but they're my heroes. Coming out of college, and literally making South Park arguably one of the greatest shows ever, and still to this day. And then they go on and do their own side projects and whatever. Literally, Trey Parker is in Despicable Me, and it's like, oh my god, like
Book of Mormon.
Just living in his best. Like Book of Mormon is
fabulous,
one of the best Broadway shows ever.
Yeah,
fabulous, so good.
Yeah,
literally, like they're just living the life, man. They've been doing it for like 20 plus years.
It's awesome.
And they just do. I love it because they do it their way.
They do. Absolutely, they do it their way. They
don't give a fuck.
They truly don't give a fuck. Yeah, I mean, if there's no better way
they don't give a damn.
There's no better way to describe South Park than not giving a fuck. Very much like NorthWest when she was on stage playing Simba.
And you know what?
She didn't give a fuck.
You know what? If she wants to take an opportunity, sure, but like at least and she's 10 years old, so I guess we can't really we can't really like harp on her too bad.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
she's just a kid. She's just a kid.
She is
at the end of the day, and it was probably we don't know the circumstances, but like it definitely whenever you're a nepo baby, especially honestly somebody as high profile as her because of her dad and mom. Like there's a spotlight on you.
Yep.
And you're gonna be introduced to a higher level of scrutiny, so you have to work extra hard.
Yeah.
So it definitely felt like the stage was too big for her.
She ain't working hard enough, man.
I saw.
She's not working hard enough. She needs some voice lessons.
She's not putting in that work.
She's not putting in that work.
Yeah.
She needs some voice lessons.
Yeah,
she needs a choreography coach. Look, I don't care that she's 10. I'm going in on her, man. No, I'm just kidding. But you are right, though.
Go off, King. Go off, King.
It's a whole thing, man. On the topic of North, I'm gonna veer it in another direction. I'm gonna use the word North as a bit of a segue to the next topic. I read this thing. I got the article pulled up here.
Bring it.
So
show me.
North Korea. Did you?
What?
Maybe you heard about this. I don't know. So I'm reading this thing that they sent balloons over to South Korea carrying a bunch of like garbage and piss and shit and just disgusting stuff. And they sent all these balloons. I don't know how many there were. There was a lot, I think. And then they just fell into various spots throughout South Korea.
1,000 balloons.
1,000. Wow. They just dropped these shit garbage balloons everywhere. And I think that's insane. That's kind of awesome.
That's crazy.
When you really think about it. I mean, awesome in like
it's not really so awesome when you realize that if they could drop trash like that, then they could probably drop like
that's true.
And, like chemical warfare.
Yeah, that is true. If you want to look at it in that light, but I'm looking at it in looking at it in like a prank. Like it's almost as though they just pranked South Korea. Like they're like, why did they do that? Why would they do that?
I mean,
it's kind of awesome. They were like, yeah, fuck you guys. Take all this piss and shit and garbage. Yeah. Like you could have
away all the geopolitical conflict. It is pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like
in its own way. Like, why would you drop? I feel like there's, better ways to spend your money. Yeah, your defense budget probably.
No,
assuming
for sure.
they have one, because that's probably the only thing they have. They definitely don't feed their citizens. So
yeah, no shit, no doubt about that.
Dude, that's so weird. I did not know about this, and I'm intrigued to the max. Like, what?
It's just It's just like somebody.
Wait, how do you think Amazon reacted when they saw like a giant ass order of balloons to like North Korea?
I don't know.
They're like,
man.
what the? Bezos is like, what the fuck are we gonna do about this?
I don't know. I'm just like imagining.
Honestly, Bezos is probably like, money.
Yeah, he just saw money. He's like, I don't care. But like, there had to have been one guy in the boardroom in North Korea who had the idea, right? Like somebody had to bring this idea up. Like let's play that situation out here. You know, if I were that guy, maybe you're a higher up kind of guy in the North Korean military. You're my boss, and we're sitting here. We're going over like new tactics of intimidation. So
it's like we got to come up with something. Kim Jong-un is gonna kill us if we don't.
Yeah. The pressure's on, time's ticking, and we need something good. Something that's not too expensive though. So this is probably how it went down. Sir, I have an idea. If you would care to entertain this thought.
Absolutely, bring it on.
Bring
it on, soldier.
Now, look, I just want to preface this by saying many of you gentlemen in this room are probably going to view this idea as unorthodox, gross, some might even say, maybe even childish. You know, who's to say? I've been having a lot of self-doubt about this idea myself, but I think if we do it right, if we execute it right, it could really leave a lasting impression. Here's the idea.
What's the idea?
We send 1,000 drones. Or not drones, but balloons. Balloons. Cheaper. Let's think cheap here, fellas. Over to South Korea. In various locations. Okay? And these balloons are going to be carrying some sort of cargo. Now.
What's the cargo?
That's
chemicals? Are we gonna drop chemicals on them?
Well,
are we gonna drop bombs?
Well, you could call it a bomb. You might call it a bomb. I would call it a bomb, a stink bomb, if you will. We're gonna drop garbage, piss, and shit all over our southern neighbors.
So no bombs?
No bombs.
So no bomb.
What do you guys think?
Okay, and this will affect them how?
It'll just piss them off, gross them out. You know, it'll ruin their day. It'll be more
off with his head. Off with his head.
Except that
guy died. Yeah. They're like, well, honestly, we nobody else has come up with something, so might as well do it.
Yeah. They kill him off, and then they're like, oh shit, that was actually kind of good though. And
they're like, well, he actually already ordered the balloons, so
yeah, sir, we already ordered everything. We got the shit piles already being constructed in the back. Like, we kind of got to go through with it now. And then it went all the way to the top, and I'm sure Mr. Kim Jong-un himself probably loved it. He probably had a good chuckle.
Oh my god!
After shooting some hoops, playing a little bit of basketball. Because everybody knows Kim Jong-un loves to ball up. He's a freaking baller.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Exactly. Damn straight, bro.
Do you know where that's from?
Oh, yeah, the interview, bro.
Okay, I'm just checking. Yeah. We've never really talked about the interview, dude. That was so crazy. That movie was so crazy because I remember it was like it caused like geopolitical conflict in a small way.
Yeah.
Just
it did. Just because they were a little bit petty. I'm surprised we didn't get shit garbage balloons dropped on us after releasing this movie.
Yeah.
Because it didn't go to theaters, did it? They pulled it before it could even hit theaters, right?
Yeah. It was crazy.
I mean, hey.
It was
props to whoever I don't know who it was that like wrote and directed the movie. It was probably Seth Rogen. Did he write it or did he just act in it?
Dan Sterling wrote it. He
Okay.
What else did he write? He wrote for King of the Hill, 7 episodes for King of the Hill.
Okay.
He was a staff writer for South Park for a year.
Wow. Interesting. Well,
he was the writer for Long Shot. Did you ever watch that movie? He was a co-writer on Long Shot, the one with Seth Rogen.
No.
The one with Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron. So Charlize Theron plays like a Secretary of State, and former child actor, excuse me. And then Seth Rogen plays a journalist, and so he's like, I can't remember. Essentially, like they connect at something and they grow to become good friends, and like she's trying to run for president and stuff like that. It's just weird.
I've never even
They
heard
do
of
like
it.
Molly. They do like Molly
very
together or
nice.
something. I'm
Very
like,
nice.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
But what I
But the
was
interview
gonna
is
say,
funny.
I just props to the people who made it. Like that is a bold fucking movie to make. I can't even like the pitch meeting for that was probably a little nerve wracking. Here's the first
Dude,
words that came
yeah.
out of their mouths at this pitch meeting. Okay, hear me out. Like how else could you open a pitch meeting about a movie like that?
Guys,
You know,
hear me out.
guys, just listen, just hear me out on this one. That's what the poop shit balloon guy had to say to his higher ups. He had to say, look, hear me out, guys. It's a wild idea, but I think it's gonna be a big smash hit. So I don't know. I thought that was just crazy. What do you think like I feel like my reaction if that happened to me, if I was a South Korean civilian and I woke up and there was just a pile of garbage in my lawn, I would just be confused, you know.
I would be
like,
confused. I'd be like, we don't have raccoons or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I'd be like, where
Like,
did
what
this
the
come
heck
from?
happened?
I guess I'll just clean it up and go on with my day. But
It was directed by Seth Rogen with Evan Goldberg. His,
Okay, he directed it.
longtime buddy.
Yeah.
His longtime buddy. He wrote Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
And
Super bad.
He's the one that he co-founded Houseplant, their like cannabis company.
Yeah.
Together. Really cool.
Oh, I didn't know actually he was involved in Houseplant. That's
Oh yeah,
interesting.
they co-founded it together.
Yeah. No, yeah, they're a great duo. I mean, Seth and Evan are the fellas, super bad
Yeah.
fellas.
He was a writer on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem with Seth. Dude, that movie is amazing.
That movie's good. That movie. Look, I have a story about this movie. if you don't
Really?
Yeah.
Do I know this story?
You know this story.
Okay.
You should know this story. I've seen the movie once. Great movie. I really need to watch it again though, because when I saw it the one time that I did, we saw it in 4DX. And look,
It's not the same.
if any of you guys don't know what 4DX is, I mean, it's basically what it sounds like. It's 4D. They try to make the movie 4D. So you're sitting in these seats and they move, they jostle you around. I think there's like misters and there's these little air blasts that are like right next to each one of your ears.
They have flashing lights for
And-
gunshots. They
yeah.
have fans to produce wind.
Yep.
Funny enough, speaking of Korea, invented by a South Korean
Wow.
cinema company.
Hey,
Boom.
thanks, South
There you go.
Korea. But it's
yeah.
it really look. It honestly it depends on the movie you're watching. It's the second time I did it. The first time I believe I was with you. The first time we saw The Lost City.
We saw Lost
Great
City,
experience.
Which that was
Great.
fun because
Yeah.
it used it, but it wasn't like too much.
No, yeah.
The first time I ever used it, I think I saw Black Widow,
How was that?
which it's not fun when you have a giant bucket of popcorn.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that too. I never.
so
even
you
thought
know
about
the beginning. You know the beginning when they're flying.
Yeah.
When they get in the plane to
Yeah, yeah.
escape and fly. So imagine that, and then this is me.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
me in
no,
my seat,
dude.
and I have a full bucket of popcorn.
It's not
I'm
enjoyable.
just like this.
It's a lot. That was me.
I'm like,
So
try
that-
to hold the popcorn in.
yeah.
And I wouldn't go to many because I'm a creature of habit. I like a bucket of popcorn and a soda. I'm a basic
Dude,
bitch when
hey.
it comes to the movie theater.
That's yeah.
And with 4DX, you can't have a bucket of popcorn,
No,
man. That
you
shit,
can't.
like, unless you eat a lot of it before you get it, before the movie starts, it's just like, I have to sit down and enjoy it. It definitely takes away from it,
It takes
especially if
away.
you have something like I saw Shang-Chi with 4DX. It's not that good. It gave my mom a headache. Actually,
Dude, it gave me fucking. Oh my god, it gave me arthritis.
They saw Top Gun Maverick and they said it was amazing. Now I imagine that one
That
is a
one
lot
might be
nicer
good.
because it's like we never got to try Sonic for 4DX.
Yeah,
I wish we did. I feel like that would have been absolutely insane.
Yeah, for Ninja Turtles though, it just like basically what you said
Too much.
for Black Widow. I was getting shaken around way too much, and the thing is, like, It was just the wrong movie for 40X. It was the wrong kind of movie for that, because all the shaking would happen. It would be like that when they're jumping on the rooftops and kind of weaving through the city. And that part was okay because the seat would move around kind of smoothly. But god damn it, whenever they started fighting, it was hell. I was bouncing around so much. My ass was coming up off the seat. Like, I couldn't believe how much it was shaking me around. It was uncomfortable. I mean, seriously,
right.
It was taking me out of the movie.
Right.
And then it doesn't help
Which
that with
sucks,
every...
man. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I watched it at home.
does-
wish I got to see it in theaters. When did it come out? Because if I remember...
I don't know. We saw it at an early
I was working my
screening.
summer job. And I couldn't go.
That's why we went to the 40X, because it was an early screening. And but no, in addition to the jostling around of the seats, it didn't help that literally every single punch that was thrown, there was a little air blast next to my ear. Every single punch or kick or nunchuck slap, there was a
You're just like...
and it was... Oh, it sucked. It just sucked. And by the end of it, I was like, I don't know what just happened.
funny.
I think from everything I remember was fire, but
That sucks.
it took me out of it.
Yeah,
Man.
dude. We'll watch it.
Oh, I need to watch it again.
It's on Paramount.
I need to watch it.
It's on Paramount
again.
Plus.
I remember that Michelangelo was a anime nerd. He was always referencing anime.
Dude, yeah.
I like that about him. I
Bacon, egg,
noticed
and
that-
cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese.
That was one thing I sort of noticed with the movie.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Is so traditionally Michelangelo is the funny one, right? He's always the cheeky, silly, funny one. The rest of them are more serious. In this new movie, though, all of them are funny. And so you're kind of like...
I like it.
I do too.
I think it's cool.
I do too. It makes sense. They're teenagers. But it kind of leaves you thinking, what does that leave Michelangelo as? Because he's always been the funny one. And
Yeah.
and
I definitely feel like they're funny, but in ways that is connected to their personality. So like they're all funny, but like it's
true.
Michelangelo's fun. He's funny like that because he's a goofball, and he's a lot.
And
his
an anime
comedy is
nerd.
more like a goofball. Excuse me. Raphael is more like the tough guy.
Yeah.
Like funny.
Donatello's the nerd, and then Leonardo's the leader.
Yeah, he's like a
cool
nerdy
guy.
funny, and then
He's the
I guess
leader.
he's Leonardo's like the least funny because he's like he tries to take it too serious, but like that's still it's fine.
Yeah, he's like the Robin of the Ninja Turtles, like from Teen Titans. Robin's always like trying to take it all too seriously.
And honestly, super refreshing that they finally made them like teenagers this time and voiced by teenagers.
No,
I thought that was just super refreshing. And also Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross on the music was so good. It was so good. Especially
Ayo Adibri as April too was fire.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's a good
She's
movie.
awesome, dude. She's having a moment right now, man. She's having a moment.
She is. She is putting in the work.
so
She
good.
is catching that check, bro. She's been in so
Dude,
much.
yeah. Did you see Theater Camp?
Dude, I love that movie. I've seen it like twice now.
Theater Camp is
Oh my
great.
God. Theater
She was in
Camp's
Bottoms.
so good.
Apparently that was really good.
Bottoms was
She's
great
in
too.
Inside Out 2.
Yep.
She's in Inside Out 2. She plays Envy.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, yeah.
The Bear. I mean, she's in The Bear.
Yeah, The Bear. I mean, that's a given. The Bear is amazing.
she
I think
was-
she won for The Bear. Didn't she win for The Bear?
Probably, yeah. Sounds about right.
No, she's great. She's awesome. You know, speaking of awesome.
Speaking of
if
awesome.
You want to get specific. Speaking, tying it to Ayo. Speaking of awesome black characters, the Acolyte.
Okay, yeah.
Acolyte.
I see what you did.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, you know.
You see what I did there?
That was a segue.
The Acolyte
that was-
is pretty. It took you a second, but it's okay. I forgive you.
Yeah.
It's good. It's pretty good.
It is good.
It's a great start. Okay. Spoilers. Ian's probably gonna flash like a big spoiler thing. Beep, beep, beep.
Sure.
And
I'll throw it in there.
yeah. We get into spoilers because how can we talk about this
Yeah.
and all the intricacies of it without getting into spoilers?
Yeah.
I loved it. It was such a great
I loved
start.
it.
What a great twist. I did not expect that twist of like, oh, she has a twin.
Yep. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So
That
now
was
it's like
good.
that cool murder mystery. I love the murder mystery elements. Mm-hmm. And then I love, like I sent you a meme earlier. I love Lee Jun Jae, who plays Soul.
He's so good.
He's awesome. He's like the High Republic's Qui-Gon Jinn of like,
He is. He really is.
the
like
Jedi have a
Qui-Gon.
stick up its ass, and I'm the only motherfucker that notices.
Yeah, he's
I
fire.
love it, man. I love it so much. You definitely see that, especially with Yord, because he's definitely like the one that's got like a stick up his
Yord
ass, and, like,
is great.
The snobby, like by the books.
He is, but he's
Like,
he's not. He's just like kind of a little bitch, you know. Like he's cool, but in a cool, because he is cool and like he's a good Jedi.
Okay.
But no one ever wants to listen to him. He says, "Well, actually," and they're like, "Yord, shut up." Like
Yord is a decent character because he's a good character because they could have so easily just made him like the clumsy goofball, which they were like towing the line a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes ahead and like when not May, but Osha finds the poison vial, he's like, no, I saw her. And then like when May is about to takes the knife, the hidden knife, and he like force pulls it. He's a goofball, but then like he's
a good
also like
Jedi.
they give him those moments of being a badass. That's like, oh, this guy, he might be a bit of a snob, a bit of a stickler for the rules, but the guy's pretty badass too, man.
Yeah.
He's like,
They know
listen,
their
hey,
shit.
when it comes time to get on business, he's like,
yeah, that's the thing, and that,
Like-
honestly, it applies with all of these new Jedi. I mean, this is an era. The Jedi are on their shit. They are powerful. Watching the way they behave and watching the way that they act and fight and just their demeanor it's different than what we've ever seen before because this is just at the peak of their power. And so like
it's
one
supposed to
thing-
be the tail end of the High Republic.
Yes,
so this
it's
is
the
like
very end. This is the start of the fall.
I think the reason they put that there is because like it's been established, the High Republic is the Jedi at the height of their power.
Yes.
They're like the sheriffs of the world, where
Yeah.
they go in the Outer Rim and they're like
They're
they
basically
are
the
true
Empire.
peacekeepers.
They're the Empire.
They're true peace,
But in a good way.
They're part of the They're essentially like the lackeys for the Empire.
Yeah.
The High Republic.
Yeah.
But you start to see those cracks of like, oh, the bureaucracy. Like when Vernestra tries to get Saul to like come back, instead of pursue. Like you start to see those cracks of like, oh, like the hubris, the bureaucracy, and all that gets in the way of it, of like getting the job done.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, dude. I'm so excited because we're getting a Wookiee Jedi,
I
dude.
know. Dude, at the very end of episode 2, just watching him use the Force.
Dude, it's
that
so
was
good.
insane.
It reminds me of
Like,
KOTOR.
what?
It reminds me of KOTOR, dude. Dude, for those audience, you don't know, Knights of the Old Republic is my favorite video game ever made. I play it at least once a year because as my ritual. They had a Selkath there. It's brief second, but he's like the guy when Sol and Vernestra are talking, passes by and he's manning the panel. Dude, they showed him. He's like the Selkath, and he's from Manon. Oh, it looks so cool. I freaked out. I'm like, ah.
They're doing good with the species and the
Dude,
aliens.
This
in the
guy,
show,
if you can see my screen, it's this guy.
Yeah.
Like, so cool, dude. It was like right here. See
Yeah.
this bit right here. That's a Selkath. They're like they're supposed to be like very peaceful creatures, but then there's like something that happens where like they bomb something because it like so Bacta comes from them.
Whoa.
So
is it like
Bacta comes from their planet.
Oh, their planet.
They,
okay. I thought it came
so-
from their bodies, and then I was about to feel
Oh, no.
really weird
No,
about
no.
Bacta tanks. Like if it was some kind of like fluid that came out of their bodies, like you got to milk them for the Bacta fluid.
Oh no! So the Selkas, they produce Bacta in the game. It explains it pretty well.
Okay.
It shows it, but essentially they have like it's a water planet, so they have underwater facilities that harvest and extract Bacta.
I see.
there's like a whole mission where like he threatens to lose the Bacta and all that good stuff in like a certain part of the Selkath planet of Manon. And yeah, so there's like a whole thing where they like some Selkath bombed like a competitor to Bacta, and so like they were kind of ostracized a little bit. I can't remember exactly, but essentially that's like what happens. But dude, I damn near freaked out because we're starting to see little bits and pieces of like KOTOR start to show up in Star Wars. We got it with like the visual encyclopedia where the Knights of Ren were inspired by Darth Revan, who is my favorite Star Wars character ever. You know this. And then now we're getting the Selkath, and now we're going to High Republic, which means, and then there's that rumor that a bunch of leakers and scoopers have been saying that KOTOR, they finally decided on what they were going to do. They're going to make it a show instead of a movie, which disappoints me because that's like the one thing in my life that I want to make. I've literally written out outlines and beat sheets of like what to do for like a trilogy. And so I'm excited. I'm still excited.
Bus. You missed the bus.
Yeah, I'm not old enough. I'm not established
They left
enough.
without you.
If something happens, man, and it gets put on the back burner, please just like wait a couple years for me to get going. I need to make it, man. I need to make this. KOTOR is literally like the best thing ever from Star Wars. Just like the lore is too rich for it not to be. Like,
lore is too
and then
rich.
honestly, I'm kind of hyped for this acolyte because like we've seen stills of the master with like that cool mask and the teeth.
I want to know.
Oh
who
my
he
god,
is.
dude, that is crazy cool. The twin part was awesome. Dude, yeah, I'm excited where this TV series goes.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, so far so good. Visuals look great. The visuals look really good.
I would agree. I love
the
their
story's
costumes.
good. It's not like cheesy. It feels very prequel-esque.
It does.
In terms of like the fight choreography, which I guess is par for the course.
Yeah, that's one thing I was gonna mention was the fighting. I really, really liked, and one thing I noticed is. Specifically with the opening scene of episode 1, I believe her name is Master Indara, and then Master Soul. Both of them, when they have been fighting, they don't take their lightsaber out right away. Like they use it as little as they possibly can, and I really fuck with that.
They're
because that's
peacekeepers.
their
They're true peacekeepers.
That's their whole thing. They're not trying to fight. They don't want to fight. They're gonna whip out that lightsaber only if they absolutely have to.
Absolutely.
And I like that. Like they prove, especially Master Soul, that they don't really need it. They can kick your ass without it if they want to.
Dude, yeah.
And I like that. I like that a lot.
The show's great.
It is good, and I hate the amount of hate it's getting. It's really sad because
really,
I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know how it is now that the show has actually dropped, but I mean, like leading up to the release, so many people.
The
have
reception
been
in terms of critics and then audience has been mostly positive.
Yeah,
critics
I mean, it
on
got
Rotten-
review bombed though.
Say what you want. Yeah, but the problem is that Star Wars is unfortunately filled with a fan base that is really toxic, especially towards female creators.
Yeah.
Now there is some validity to a lot of criticism that Star Wars is getting, especially post Disney purchase, because just essentially, I think it's less like at like the stories as a whole. I just feel like Rey, like in terms of what George Lucas established, is just very implausible. Like for Rey to become that all-powerful Jedi out of all of a sudden, and then be like, oh, she's the one now. It's just she didn't earn that type of path to that. The fan base is just toxic, man. It's full of like really like honestly like anti-women men, like haters. It's like
it really is.
It's showrun by a female. It's a female lead, a black lead. Like my god.
I mean,
watch
not
out.
even really black lead. I mean, the whole cast of characters, most of them are
the quasi lead. Yeah, exactly, dude. I don't know what to tell you, man. I think it's great. I hate all that criticism because, there's some things that like some of the creators will say, and it's like, all right, cool, whatever. It's not that big a deal, you know. Like Leslie Headland, she's doing a great job with this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw Russian Doll. She did that Netflix show.
I didn't see it, but I
with
have heard
Natasha
of it.
Lyonne.
Yeah.
It got great reception, so I
Yeah.
trusted her.
Yeah. It's good.
think
it's a good
it's
show.
great.
I mean, like you said, unfortunately, a lot of Star Wars fans are straight up sexist and racist. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. I mean, when you're in the comments calling it Star woke and saying, you know, this is woke now, simply because it's made by a woman, simply because all of the main characters, none of them are white.
Dude, yeah.
Like they
And
just
you know
say,
what?
like you're all you're saying when you say that, when you call it woke because of those reasons is, hey, I'm a racist and a sexist. I don't like that it's not white men. Like what?
George Lucas talked about it recently. He was at Cannes and he did like a guest
Yeah.
panel.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
I
I
remember
can't
hearing
remember if
about
they
that.
gave him an award or something.
Yeah.
But he was there and he was talking about like, I don't get what all this like hate is because like, if you guys realize it, Leia is the main character of the originals, and he's 100% right. And then Padme is the main character of the prequels because the whole plot is driven by Leia for the
That's true.
originals. She's the leader of the Resistance.
That's
They
true.
have to go save her. They have to save her, and then she heads the rebels, and she's the head of the Resistance. And then Padme spearheads a lot of fear and all that in Anakin, and a lot of like his actions in the second and third ones, less so in the first one.
Yeah.
And the movies are female.
They are.
And like,
I mean, they're both. They're
You
both
know-
equally. That's what I think it is. Like it's equal. And even I remember hearing at that same thing he was talking about, because people brought up the fact that the originals are just a bunch of white dudes, and he's like, most of the characters are aliens. He's
Are
like,
aliens.
he's
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, they're
most
aliens.
of the ones in the background that we see throughout the galaxy are aliens. He's like, the whole point is
It's like-
it's not supposed to matter what they look like. That's what he says. He's
Exactly.
like, you're not. It
it's
doesn't
like
matter.
you do realize that Han Solo's best friend is literally a giant oversized
Yeah.
carpet, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's-
you know, he's a talking carpet. Like literally an alien.
Yeah.
There's aliens all the time. The first main characters we see are droids. They're droids.
Yeah, exactly.
literally
Yeah, they're
C-3PO
fucking
or
robots,
R2D2, like-
aliens. Like, yeah, and yeah, it's just silly. People, look, we've talked about it before. That the Star
Yeah.
Wars fan base, it just sucks. It just is
Yeah,
horrible.
and you know, like Book
It's
of Boba Fett,
toxic.
I thought was a little whatever. It was a little slow, and you know, there's some validity to like, you know, Star Wars post Disney. If you look at it on paper, it hasn't
Sure.
been that great.
Yeah.
In comparison to pre Disney, but like that doesn't mean like as a whole. Like as a whole,
No.
I think Star Wars is one of
It's
the most
fine.
consistent
I think it's been
franchises.
fine.
and
Yeah.
they're great. It's great. You know,
Mm-hmm. It's
you're
like-
starting to finally see that resurgent, that eventual whole group of people that are like revisiting the prequels. I mean,
Exactly.
and being like, oh no, they're actually a lot better than I thought. Just you know, that revisionist history.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, I agree. I
It's,
mean, you're absolutely right. There is some validity to the to the Disney acquisition, to
Like
to a lot of
Rey.
the complaints.
Like
there
Rey,
is
for
some validity,
example.
but the majority of the complaints that modern era Disney Star Wars gets, like what we were saying, like with all the woke shit with women and non-white people, like most of these complaints are bullshit. Like that's the thing. Is like there's a little bit of validity, but most of what you're saying is fucking just dumb shit. Like yeah.
Clone Wars is great. Rebels is great.
Yep.
Resistance, it was all right. It was
Oh,
all right.
wait, Resistance. Honestly, I've never seen it, so I can't speak on it.
Really?
But, yeah.
Okay. It's
but
all right.
It's
whatever. It's whatever.
But yeah.
But what my point is, post Disney Clone Wars, that last season, that is one of the best seasons
Yeah.
of television I have ever seen. Period. Point blank. in terms of story, choreography, and everything. That was like, and the conclusion of something I thought was one of the best conclusions I've ever seen for a show.
Oh, yeah.
Bad Batch. Bad Batch was amazing. Bad Batch was great.
Yep.
And that's one of the few shows I've seen where especially that final season, every episode got better than the last. It was like boom, boom, boom,
for sure.
boom, 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 boom. Rebels has been aging really well, and it's gotten better. As time goes on, a lot of people are starting to come around to it. I mean,
Rebels is great.
Ahsoka off of it.
Yeah.
You know, Mandalorian season 1 and 2, fantastic. Season 3, it was all right. It was good. You know, it wasn't the best. It's hard to. I think it's also hard to like beat number 2, and then that fatigue starts to set in for a lot of people. Of like, what more can you tell after he gave Grogu to Luke Skywalker? Spoilers for those who haven't seen something that came out 3 or 4 years ago. You know, Ahsoka was good. Andor is amazing.
Yep.
You know, Boba Fett was all right. Like, in terms of what I'm trying to get at, in terms of like, the track record is better than people realize.
Exactly. They're focusing on the wrong things.
Especially in the television aspect. Rogue One was great. Last Jedi is amazing. Force
Solo
Awakens
is
all right.
amazing. Solo is peak cinema. I mean, Solo is honestly
Rise
one of
of
the greatest
Skywalker
movies
sucks.
that's ever been made. Solo is Star Wars story. I mean, every time I watch it, I'm inspired. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Talking out of your ass. You're just trying to piss me off.
Talking out of my brain. I watched it the other day, man. Fire. So fire.
I mean, you know,
all I have to do to shut you down is
wrong.
talk about how awesome Solo is. That's all you have to do to shut you down is just bring
it's okay to be
it
wrong.
Destroys your spirit to hear that it's a fire movie.
Just like, it's not. It's all right. It's not as bad as I rewatched it recently after our last conversation. It's not that bad. It's not the greatest.
It's not.
In terms of like, if we had to rank all the Star Wars movies, you'll put it above Rise of Skywalker, but are you going to put it above everything else that's come out?
No.
Of the post-Disney Star Wars movies?
I would put it probably above The Force Awakens.
Really?
Maybe.
Interesting. I would too because it's original.
That's what
I would too because it's original. It's as original as it can be for an origin story.
Yeah.
It's just it suffers from like what kills me about Rise of Skywalker is like in key critical story moments they fumble the bag.
Yeah.
Like
they fumble the bag.
They kill the whole crew at the beginning of Solo. Well, not the whole crew, but like the majority of the crew is like,
we don't have to get into it. We've gone.
It's like they're interesting. Dead. So, what's your last name? I don't have one.
We've gone over it. Yeah, we don't have to. Yeah,
it's the same thing with Rise of Skywalker. It's like the Force lightning. Chewbacca's dead. Oh, I guess not. C-3PO sacrificed his brain. Actually, no, that didn't happen. You know, like Palpatine is back somehow. You know, there's this one meme I love where it's like that picture of Oscar Isaac saying that line, and it's like, you know what's funny is that this script went through probably at least 4 revisions, sent to the producer at least 5 or 6 times, revised 2 more times, sent to final draft, went through quality control, and that line still somehow made it through.
It's true. It's true.
Made it through production, made it through getting shot and everything, and that line somehow still made it through.
Yeah.
Boggles my mind.
Yeah. And I don't know how it...
Terrible writing, you still have a chance. If it can happen in Star Wars, you can do it too. Don't give up on your dreams.
Yep. All right, I think that's a good... We got to shift gears from Star Wars. We have to.
We have to shift to something arguably a lot better... Venom,
yeah. That trailer was something, but no, we have to. I think
Venom 3, baby.
I think we have to start holding ourselves back from Star Wars, man. We talk about it so much.
No,
they're probably sick of it.
No, I'm not sick of it.
Once an episode, we mention how horrible Rise of Skywalker is. I mean,
yeah. That's how you know it's bad, man. That's how
Yeah,
you know it's
I
bad.
guess so. Yeah.
And you know what? People are gonna say, "Oh, they're gonna do the thing that they did with the prequels that they're gonna do with the sequels. That over time, people are gonna come to appreciate it." I can tell you right now, I've thought about it, and in my heart of hearts, I feel that that's not gonna happen. Like, genuinely, just Rise of Skywalker is not a good movie. And don't get me wrong, I tried to give it a chance. I saw the reception when it first came out, and I'm like, I don't care, man. I'm hyped. I'm ready. I love Star Wars. And then I watched it, and that was like one of the few times where I went to go see a movie, and I was like heartbroken how shitty it was. Broke my heart. I like watched it. I'm like, what? What's going on here? It hurt.
Yeah.
It genuinely hurt.
Yep.
But you know what doesn't hurt? It hurt me like Venom, Let There Be Carnage hurt me. Of how milquetoast that movie was. That movie sucked.
Yeah, that movie did suck.
And they're making a sequel.
Yeah.
I guess, because...
Oh, man.
Take it away, my friend. We saw the horse. The Venom horse.
Oh,
that kind of hyped me up a bit. I'm like, damn, this is kind of sick. You know, they straight up just bonded with a horse, and he's like, it's pretty. I'm sorry. I'm trying to like really like this movie, but I can't. Venom's one of my favorite characters, and I just...
Venom
Sony,
is
stop.
cool. Venom is a great character, not this movie version of Venom. This specific version of Venom is weird. I just can't
version
get
of
behind
Venom.
it.
I like the kind of duality.
I don't. I don't.
Yeah, I know.
Weird.
A lot of people don't like it. I love Tom Hardy. He's
I like
arguably
Tom
my
Hardy.
favorite
Tom
actor.
Hardy's great. It's just the thing they're doing where Venom and Eddie are two entirely separate, different people. It's so weird. It's so weird.
I mean, they always were. It's just that whenever they're bonded, they talk as one.
It's
but
more so it's just like voices in his head.
Remember, it is a symbiote. It is a symbiote. It
but
is a separate organism.
It is a separate organism, but Venom is the combination of Eddie Brock and the symbiote. Venom himself is not just the symbiote. Like, Venom is not just a different guy. It's Eddie Brock's mind being corrupted by this parasitic symbiote, and that's what Venom is. It's like voices in his head. This is straight up just a guy that's just goo, and he can
I think it's the same. I think it's the same thing, except they're just presenting it in a more visual way.
I guess
It's the same concept. They're just presenting it more visually.
Yeah, but he has conversations with them.
I get it because internal thoughts is kind of boring. So presenting it in a more visual way, it makes sense for me personally. You know what doesn't make sense? Chiwetel Ejiofor being in this as like a villain, other than Mordo.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
especially the way they're explaining it. The way they're explaining. So for those that don't know, there's a scene. If you don't remember from the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, Eddie is already in the MCU in a bar. Yeah. And then when he gets sent back to his world, a piece of him is left. So that piece is, by the rules stated, that piece of Venom is stuck in the MCU world.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, we get a still from Venom, which takes place in the Sony universe of Chiwetel Ejiofor, grabbing a piece of Venom, that piece from Venom at that bar.
Same bar, same bartender, Danny Rojas.
I don't know if Avi Arad is just trying to mess with Kevin Feige for getting blocked out of the creative decisions for Spider-Man in the MCU, because Avi Arad is awful. Like, if you look at his track record, the worst decisions that Sony Marvel has ever made all stem from Avi Arad. And it makes no sense. And now they're saying Rhys Ifans, the guy that played the Lizard, is in this movie as well.
He is.
Are we saying that the Lizard is in this movie, and now we have the guy that played Mordo is in this movie? Like, what is going on here? Like, did they not watch No Way Home? Did they just straight up not watch that? They weren't it's Spider-Man. They were entailed a cut. It's a partnership. Did they not get a cut? Or did they not watch the cut?
Like, what are
they doing?
I think it's likely that they just don't give a shit. I think it's likely that they probably just don't know and they don't care. They're just doing whatever. I mean, because why should they? Why should they care? You know, like they're just trying to make these fucking Venom movies and get some money out of it. Like, you think they're really going to take
and you know
the
what?
time to study
Venom makes money. The last 2 movies made money. Like, people forget the first Venom almost broke $1 billion. It almost broke $1 billion.
Yeah, that one did.
And
really
the second
well.
one made a good amount of. The second one made a decent amount of money.
I don't know if this third one.
It made $500 million,
suit.
and it's the same budget. It's a $110 million budget, which is fine. Yeah, dude, $856 million. Venom 1. That's crazy, man.
That is crazy. I mean, I get that when it's the first one. It's a Venom movie. I get that, but a little disappointing.
Yeah, Venom is pretty cool, and we're getting like a proper like solo Venom.
Yeah,
but
proper
dude, like,
with air
Sony,
quotes. Man, I don't know about
live action is just Sony is dropping the ball with live action Spider-Man universe. Like,
yeah, no, 100%.
Madam Web. Did you hear that part where they were talking about like, oh, we moved Kraven the Hunter to Christmas because we believe people are gonna go watch it multiple times? I'm like, are you?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
What?
That's ridiculous. I don't. That's what
like,
I'm saying.
Are you
like,
delusional?
Based on shit like decisions like that, like shit they come out and say, like it just really it seems like they don't know anything that's actually going on, and they don't care, and they're just doing whatever they want. Because they can, and it just sucks.
They are delusional.
They are delusional.
No, but did you see that quote from Tom Hardy recently?
What? Oh, where he said they have a Spider-Man in their universe.
Yeah, the Scoopers are spoilers. I'll give you 5 seconds to back out. Spoilers. I mean, it could or couldn't be a spoiler. It may or may not be.
Rumor.
The Scoopers, the leakers are saying it's Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it happening.
Which also makes less sense because if you remember from the Morbius trailer, because I haven't seen the movie, I refuse. The part where he's running away in his jumpsuit, you see a Spider-Man poster, like graffiti behind him, and that's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it literally isn't it literally like the same pose from like the video game?
Yes.
Yeah, what is that? Talk about lazy. Come on, Sony.
I don't know, man. Dude,
I'm gonna have to catch up, man. I gotta watch Morbius. I gotta watch Madam Web because I gotta be prepared for Venom: The Last Dance, and I gotta be prepared for Kraven.
Not doing it, man.
I'm gonna.
I don't care. I'm not doing it. I'm not watching Kraven. I'm not watching Madam Web.
You're not watching Kraven?
I'm not gonna watch Kraven. Hell no.
I'll watch it when it hits streaming.
I probably would have watched it if Madam Web didn't come out, and then Madam Web came out.
I'll watch it when it hits streaming,
and I'm like, oh, never mind.
I'm going to watch Morbius and Madam Web with the help of my good friend Alcohol. That's what I will be doing because I don't think I'll be able to do it alone. I think I'm going to need my friend to help me get through it.
You're going to have to, I don't know. You're going to have to force me to watch it. I'm not. Okay. I'm only watching Venom because Venom's my favorite character, and that's it. But like,
I'm watching Venom. Yeah.
Heart to watch, especially after Morbius and Madam Web. I don't have the heart in me to watch Kraven, spend money, on popcorn and everything. Like, if I go see Kraven the Hunter, it'll be the first time I walk out of a movie theater.
Could be. I'll just watch it when it hits streaming. I won't pay for a ticket for that. I guess I
wouldn't even give it the couple cents that the studio makes from streaming.
I'm hesitant to even want to go and pay a ticket to see Venom: The Last Dance because like Venom's the one at this point that I'll go and see. Yeah, I mean Venom's the only one I'll go and see, but like I want them to stop making these movies, and I know the only way.
Well, here's the thing: it's the last one. It's the last one.
No, I'm meaning the Sony movies in general. I'm meaning the Sony standalone Marvel movies in general. I want them to stop making all of them.
That's not gonna happen.
You know,
it's not gonna happen.
I mean, if they don't make
that's
money,
not gonna happen. They're making a Sinister Six movie. They're like working on a Sinister Six movie.
Breaks
my
heart.
This is insane. Like they're massacring. I'm that picture of like that Godfather meme. They're massacring my boy.
Yeah, and and I mean the only way to boycott that is to just not pay for a ticket, and so
Yeah.
That's why I'm hesitant to go and see Venom, because I don't want to support them making these fucking dog shit movies.
It pisses me off, man, because literally, like, on top of the fact that we've talked about the situation with the theaters, is like the few movies that people go to see are shit.
Yeah.
Like, people didn't go see Furiosa, but they'll pay like money to go see Godzilla X Kong. Like, come on, man. At the end of the day.
Whoa, what are you trying to say about Godzilla X Kong?
I'm not saying.
I know, yeah. I know the point you're trying to make.
Okay? I'm saying there's a tier above. Furiosa is a tier above.
Yeah.
Godzilla Kong.
No, you're absolutely right.
There's a clear difference. And it pisses me off that nobody saw Furiosa, and that is one of. You want a strong female character? Boom, right there, right in your face.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Awesome. She's a badass.
Yeah. All you gotta say is, no one's seen Furiosa, and fucking everyone's seen Garfield. Like, the simple fact of the matter is, Garfield is destroying Furiosa, and that says it all. Like,
they didn't even market that movie. They stopped marketing that movie. And you know what? If you notice, is that studios will stop marketing a movie. They'll market it at the beginning, hype you up, and then if you notice that nothing else ever comes out of it, it's because they don't believe in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing it's pretty just mid sauce all around. It's not anything special.
How about like a 2.65 or something like that on Letterboxd, and like a 36% on Rotten Tomatoes? Like,
yeah.
Say what you want about Rotten Tomatoes, they're not like a good aggregator, but like, even so, 36 is low.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, it's still...
Even then. Also, Chris Pratt's a terrible choice for Garfield.
He is.
Garfield's supposed to be...
He is.
You know, nothing against Chris Pratt, because I love Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah,
great
exactly.
Dude, great actor. But, like, he's supposed to be like... Bill Murray is like the slow and
he had a voice that matched it.
Lazy fat cat. He's not a lazy fat cat in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's the Chris Pratt. Unironically, like, genuinely, is one of my favorite actors. I think he's great. Like, I really think he's great. I think even as a voice actor, I mean, some people say like he's a bad voice actor. I think even in voice acting, he's very charismatic. He's great as Emmett. I do think he did really well as Mario. He was good in Onward, but you're right. He was just the wrong choice.
He was fine as Mario. It's just
he was the
weird.
wrong. He was the wrong choice for Garfield.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. And again, it's not a discredit against him or his ability. I'm sure he delivered the lines just fine. I know in interviews he said he was trying to channel Andy Dwyer from Parks and Rec for this role, which, I mean, I get it, I understand, but again, it was just not the right choice for the character. It doesn't matter how well he reads the lines. It's just he's not good for Garfield. It was just a weird choice. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what the logic in that was.
Agreed.
Because Garfield has an established voice. That's the weird thing about it. It's not like this character whose voice has gone through changes over the years. Like, he has a sound to him. You can't just go through and change that. It's like, what if they made like a Mickey Mouse movie and they cast Morgan Freeman as Mickey Mouse, and they're like, yeah, this is just what he sounds like now. Like, no, what? No, Mickey Mouse sounds like we know what he sounds like. You can't just go and do that.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how good Morgan Freeman might be. He can't voice Mickey Mouse. Like, he just can't.
Yeah, because there's definitely like, yes, there's the whole, artists should have the freedom to exercise creative liberties, but it's like when you come across like such an iconic character that has a long history of predetermined, traits that is part of their personality, what makes them popular, like Garfield being lazy, he loves lasagna, he hates Mondays. When you take away that lazy, like low voice away from him, then it's unfaithful, and it does a disservice to the fans, because when you make something like that, you're making it for the fans. Or like you said, Mickey, it does a disservice because we have this. It's not preconceived notion; it's preconceived,
just
established character traits
just
of
what he
what
sounds
makes
like.
them unique, like that character. And when you stray away from that, it does a disservice to not only that them as a character, but you do a disservice to the audience of who you're trying to reach as a whole.
Yeah. But people are paying for tickets, I guess. I guess it fucking is good enough to beat Furiosa. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I don't fucking know.
I don't know, man.
On that note, I think it's time to
love
fucking wrap
Furiosa.
this shit up, man. We're at an hour. We gotta wrap it up. I'm all worked up over here about
Yeah,
Garfield.
man. I'm worked up about...
Yeah.
Breaks my heart, man. Breaks
Breaks
my
my
heart.
heart.
Furiosa was one of the best movies I've ever seen.
It was really good.
I would say
it was really good.
It was one of the best. It's one of the best prequels of all time.
It was. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was really good. It was really, really good.
Loved it.
It was great. It was great.
We'll
Go
talk
watch
about
it.
that in the next episode, maybe. Who knows? I might not even
Yeah.
be here because this dude sucks.
Yeah. Did I not sway you back with this episode? You still don't like it very much?
Just a little bit, but not enough.
I thought
We'll see what
I
happens.
thought maybe let's try another episode. Maybe he'll like it. Maybe he'll have some more fun. You know, I let you talk about how much you hate Rise of Skywalker again. You know, we can talk about it again next time if that's what'll bring you back.
Maybe. If you let me say Solo sucks again, I might come back.
Okay, nope, the show's over. Sorry, nope, this is the last episode. Sorry, guys. Whatever, that's it. We're done.
I
See ya.
got him.
Bye.
Hit him where
Okay.
it hurts, fellas. Hit him where it hurts.
All right, goodbye, everyone. Have a lovely
Goodbye, guys. This was fun.
Have a lovely day, night, evening, whenever the fuck. Goodbye. Just whatever.